The harder I work, the luckier I get. That quote originated with MGM head and movie industry legend Samuel Goldwyn. There are many variations to that quote, but its truth remains the same. It may seem like a lot of people get lucky. It may seem like they are able to do the right things at the right time with the right people to produce the right outcome. They make it look easy. But is this really luck? On the other hand, there are the rest of us who seem to go through many struggles just to get that lucky break. We look at these people and it seems that things just fall into place at the right time to produce the most amazing success. But here's the secret. They just make it look easy. You have to understand that for the most part, people who seem to get lucky all the time have a secret to that consistency. It is not luck that they're able to seemingly hit the jackpot every single time. Now, most of us would agree that you're just lucky if you're able to do the right thing at the right time once in a blue moon. Most people would agree that that is probably just luck. On the other hand, something else is going on when you're able to hit the ball out of the park almost each and every time you step up to the plate. There's something else going on. This is where hard work comes in. If you're suffering from hard luck and you can't seem to get it right, and you're having a tough time getting your act together because somewhere something just pops up and robs you of victory, please understand that it is not luck that is the problem. It may look like it, but the problem is the amount of work you put in. I know this will offend a lot of people. This is not going to sit well with many individuals, but this is the truth. It's very easy to complain that everybody else is lucky and you're just down on your luck, and regardless of how hard you try and how many times you try, it just doesn't seem to work out. Well, you might want to look again. And it is very helpful to look at what successful people do, and that's why it's important to understand that the harder you work, the luckier you get. It takes more than luck to do the right things at the right time to produce the right outcome, and be able to do this consistently. How does this work? Well, first of all, it takes work to be able to spot opportunity. A lot of rich people are rich precisely because they see things that we don't. People who struggle see the world a certain way. The poor get poorer, the rich get richer. How many times have you heard that? For somebody's slice of the pie to get bigger, everybody else's slice has to necessarily get smaller. Are you familiar with that thinking? It's a mindset. And it's no surprise that people who believe in such mindsets tend to feel limited. If you were to compare yourself to Bill Gates, you probably would laugh at me. Seriously, how can I even think about asking you with your financial struggles, to compare yourself with one of the world's richest men? Am I out of my mind? Well, look closer. On a physical level, what separates you from Bill Gates? In fact, if you're completely honest about it, you probably have a lot of advantages. chances are you're probably younger and better looking than him. Still, he's very rich. He has a lot of power. He definitely has a lot of influence. How did that happen? Well, look at the commonality. When it comes to hardware, he's probably got nothing on you. But the big difference is the software. Microsoft, the company Bill Gates founded, after all, is a software company. You install different versions of the operating system on different pieces of the same pieces of hardware, and you're going to have machines that behave differently. Similarly, in terms of hardware, you and Bill Gates really aren't that far apart. In fact, you may be in a superior position. The big difference is the software you choose to install. This takes hard work to chip away at. It takes guts, courage, and the ability to look beyond what currently is. Do you think a lot of people who develop great real estate projects like skyscrapers, big malls, or shopping complexes, do you think when they look at a nasty looking scrap of land, obsess over how dirty, nasty, and seemingly hopeless that piece of real estate is? No. They always look at what could be. When you look in the mirror, do you see somebody who has made a lot of mistakes in the past? Do you see somebody who is struggling today? Do you see somebody who cannot overcome those past mistakes and current struggles? If your answer is yes to the third question, that is your problem. It takes work to chip away at that answer. This is why it's really important to understand that hard work is not what you think it is. A lot of people are under the impression that to work hard, you basically have to physically exert yourself. Well, welcome to the digital age. Very few people work in jobs that involve actual physical labor. Instead, the work happens between your ears. And guess what? It's actually more demanding work. The great thing about physical work is that it is predictable. It is also limited. You know your limits, so you work at a certain pace. After your shift is over, you can relax. Not so with mental work. And this is what weighs people down, so they just do the bare minimum. They don't dare go beyond the fixed boundaries that they've set for themselves, and that's why they stay stuck. They never think like Bill Gates. They never venture to the territory of Steve Jobs. Instead, they focus on how things are, how hard they think their life is, and they just focus on the day-to-day. It's hard to pile up a fortune of millions when you content yourself to counting pennies. And that's precisely what too many people do. So if you want to get lucky and do the big things in life and achieve the great victories in life, not just once, not once in a blue moon, but consistently, work hard. And guess what? The hard work takes place between your ears. The harder you work, the luckier you get. You start seeing opportunities where people only saw challenges, defeat, or even humiliation. You start seeing yourself in a different light. Instead of this poor person who constantly asks, "What happened?" you start to become the person who constantly makes things happen. Is it easy? Of course not. Is this gonna happen overnight? Are you kidding? Is it worth doing? You bet. You only have one life to live. I'm sure you already know that. Make it count. The harder you work, the luckier you get.